Yo, what's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
We get Nerdy Nightly.
And we thought we'd share it with you.
That is right. Welcome back to another edition of the Nightly Morning Show, Friday edition, here on twitch.tv/nerdynightly. If you're watching on our YouTube or listening to the podcast feed, please know that you can join us live on Twitch every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern for the show, taping of this show that you're watching now, currently, with your eyeballs or your ear holes. One of
those things.
That is our new official intro. I will say it exactly like that every day.
Please don't. I'd prefer if you didn't. I would definitely prefer that.
Yeah, me too.
Well, it's a Friday. Welcome on in, guys. We just gotta set up the bot.
We had a rather inappropriate pre-show today, so if there is some lingering messages
Giggles.
In the video over on that side, sorry about that.
I'm not sorry about that. It's great.
Misguided Gamers Live is right. It is Disney Plus Day. Y'all, we've decided to rename Friday to Disney Plus Day. And why are we doing that, Clarus?
Well, because first of all, we started out with The Mandalorian being released every Friday. Yep. And now we have WandaVision coming out every Friday. And we're probably going to have, or after that, I think we're going to have Falcon and the Winter Soldier coming out every Friday. So,
Falcon. And then after Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it looks like we're going to be getting Loki. According to something we talked about on the show earlier in the week. Yeah. The Latin Disney Plus account leaking out that Loki might start premiering in May. Yeah.
So that is why Friday is now known as Disney Plus Day, because it's the day that we all collectively catch up with the latest episode of whatever is airing on Disney Plus.
Right now that's WandaVision. We haven't seen today's episode yet.
No.
But we are going to watch it as soon as the show's over, and we're going to be posting our spoiler chat for that episode on YouTube, just like our others have been up there.
Yeah.
So please go give that a look-see once you have watched the episode. WandaVision is a spoiler-heavy show, which is funny, because when we did the spoiler chat for episode 1 and 2, no spoilers, but what we did say was, this is a tough show to spoil. There wasn't a lot going on.
Yes, and now there's everything going on.
And then from 3, 4, and 5 on, every episode feels like they're throwing the cosmic universe at us. Yeah. And I'm eating it up. Yeah. I'm just like, it's a mukbang of MCU delights.
Oh, I'm going to use that analogy.
I know, amazing. I like the word mukbang. I like it because it makes me think of Muck the Pokemon, who I'm a fan of. I've always liked Muck because he's a beast of a Pokemon.
Sure.
Yeah, and Minimize, great move.
Can you tell we're becoming Pokemon streamers?
I've always been a big Pokemon fan, though, as you can tell by our lives.
Yeah, that's fair.
RMK Breda Live says, I didn't think I'd like WandaVision, and I'm in love with it.
Interesting.
I did think I would like it, but I didn't think I would like it this much.
Yeah. It's, especially right at the very beginning, I was worried that WandaVision would be for, like, kind of a niche group of people. But I don't think that's the case. I think they're being very smart with it. Yeah. Obviously, the show's not over yet, so I don't want to, put the cart ahead of the horse or whatever you say, but...
That is what you say, yeah.
That is the... Sorry, I've been watching Bridgerton, so those are the analogies that are in my head.
I am not watching Bridgerton.
Yeah, my friend was like, it's good, watch it. And I watched it, and I was like, oh, okay. It didn't feel like a waste of time.
Are you done? Have you finished it?
Oh, yeah, I finished it. I finished it last night.
Oh, what did you think? Here, give us your review.
Of Bridgerton.
Spoiler-free review of Bridgerton.
Spoiler-free review. If you like costume dramas, then this is the show for you. There's a lot of sex in it. And it was interesting.
Maybe I should watch it.
I mean, you walked in and they were literally... It was like... I won't spoil anything, but there were two people having sex, and I was like, sorry, babe, I'm watching Bridgerton. I enjoyed it. It's not my favorite shows are all not reality-based. They're all fantastical, whether or not it's like magic or sci-fi or things like that. But I do enjoy like a good like costume drama, and I think the actors did a really good job. I think the writing was really interesting. Like the idea of the show is really cool. But if you don't, if you don't like dramas, it's definitely not. It's not the show for you. Like if the idea of like young ladies finding a husband and like scandals and stuff doesn't appeal to you, then don't.
Mm-hmm. But you said that for like costume drama time period people, this is their show. Isn't part of this show the fact that it isn't like that it feels sort of out of time?
Well, it's not accurate in any way. Okay. Like the wardrobe is not accurate. The music is not accurate. It's literally rearrangements of pop songs. Mm-hmm. So it's meant to have a certain aesthetic, and it's meant to. It definitely feels like it is not of the present era, but it's not historically accurate. Really, that's it.
But you liked it.
Yeah, I liked it. It was fun. As long as you go into it knowing that you're not going to see a perfect historical representation of what it was like back then, mm-hmm. then I think you can enjoy it.
Do you think it should be turned into a TikTok musical? I mean, it already has been, but do you think there's like it's like got musical worthy moments?
I mean, I guess, but there is a lot of sex in it, so.
There are sex in musicals.
Yeah.
Have you seen Wicked? When Elphaba and Fiyero are on their knees in the cave and they touch hands like that?
Yeah, but here's the thing. There's usually like one scene. Like in Heathers, there's one scene. In Wicked, there's one scene. There are many times where sex is actually very relevant to the telling of the story. So it would have to happen at least several times throughout the show. Yeah.
Before we get into the news, Middle of the Bar brought up Aquacon. Yes, this is Aquacon and Diddy Lad. This is one of my favorite shirts. I don't know where I got it. I think I got it at Comic-Con like 5 years ago.
Makes sense.
Yeah. My favorite superhero and one of my favorite characters in Smash.
Yeah.
I like playing as DK.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong. All right, y'all. Time to get into the news. And our main story today is that Donald Trump. Do you know who that is?
Sorry, who?
Are you familiar?
Who is she?
Who's she? Donald Trump, former president of the United States, and also a former member of Sag-Aftra, the actors and the Screen Actors Guild / American Film and Television Radio. Was it the American Film, Television, and Radio
Association?
Artists. The Association of Film, Television, and Radio Artists, I think is what it is.
Oh,
I should know. I've been
you are part of it.
I've been a card-carrying member of SAG-AFTRA for 8 years.
Mm-hmm. So before you get into the story, I'm sure there's a few people who may not know what SAG-AFTRA is, what the purpose of it is.
So essentially, SAG-AFTRA is the union that actors who do film and television in the United States are in. Mm-hmm. The theater union is called Actors Equity Association. Mm-hmm. I'm also a member of that. But the film, television, and radio and like news anchors, all of those kinds of people are in SAG-AFTRA.
Yes.
And so Donald Trump is in SAG-AFTRA because Donald Trump has done SAG work, which we're going to bring up in this letter, which I am now going to read, and we're going to go through part by part because this is hilarious. Like this is the kind of thing that you write when you're a child.
In your journal, in your diary.
Or this is what like The Onion would have written. So it starts. I did not keep the person's name who it's written to, but it's written to the head of the committee. And it starts. I write to you today regarding the so-called disciplinary committee hearing. It's not the so-called disciplinary hearing. It is the disciplinary hearing aimed at revoking my union membership. Who cares! !
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, that's the first paragraph. I write to you today regarding the so-called disciplinary committee hearing aimed at revoking my union membership. Who cares? Now, if he had quit then, if that was the end of the thing, I would agree that he doesn't care. But he's going to prove very quickly that he cares very much.
Care. Okay, I'm ready.
Paragraph 2. While I'm not familiar with your work...
What?
Nice dig, dude. I'm very proud of my work on movies such as Home Alone 2, Zoolander, and Wall Street Money Never Sleeps, and television shows including The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Saturday Night Live, and of course one of the most successful shows in television history, The Apprentice, to name just a few. First of all, you have one line in Homelander 2, my dude. In Home Alone 2. Homelander.
I'm sure he is very proud of that one line.
He's very proud of his work on Home Alone 2. Very proud of it. Third paragraph. I've also greatly helped the cable news television business. It's in parentheses said to be a dying platform with not much time left until I got involved in politics, and created thousands of jobs at networks such as MSDNC and Fake News CNN, among others.
He calls it Fake News CNN.
In his official quitting letter to Sag-Aftra, he still calls it Fake News CNN because he can't take anything seriously. But my favorite thing about this is that he's like, I've also greatly helped the cable news television business by being a train wreck that no one could look away from. Like, it's not like he was, like, showing up to work there and, like, helped them through the hard times.
No, you were being an ass.
No, like, he was being a sideshow attraction.
Yeah.
We couldn't look away, and so news did well because news...
Okay.
He goes on. Paragraph 4. Which brings me to your blatant attempt at free media attention to distract from your dismal record as a union. A union I thought you were very proud of your work in earlier, but that's fine. Your organization has done little for its members and nothing for me, besides collecting dues and promoting dangerous un-American policies and ideas. Dude, you had healthcare because of these people. What are you doing? As evident by your massive unemployment rates and lawsuits from celebrated actors who even recorded a video asking, why isn't the union fighting for me? That is true. That is true. Look, it's a difficult union. It's a difficult union, you know? I get it. Being an actors union is tough. Mm-hmm. This paragraph is BS, but these, however, are policy failures. Your disciplinary failures are even more egregious. I no longer wish to be associated with your union. As such, this letter is to inform you of my immediate resignation from Sag-Aftra. You have done nothing for me. Regards, President Donald J. Trump. He still signs that he's President Donald... And I guess, like, you still sign that after you're not president anymore?
No.
But,
No.
To end on, you have done nothing for me.
Trump knows words like egregious. No, Hammontators, he probably used, like, synonyms.com.
Oh my god,
for that one.
it's just so funny. My favorite line in this whole thing is the
Who cares? With an exclamation mark. Oh, wow.
Sag-Aftra's response to this is my favorite response.
They have a response. Oh, I'm ready.
Yeah, it's pretty wordy. So try and keep up with it. The response was, thank you. That was it.
Did they send him a letter that said thank you?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was an email. But yeah, their entire response was just thank you.
I mean, yeah, I would love to be rid of him too.
Who cares? I'm going to write you this long letter talking about how great I am, but who cares?
Wow.
You have to imagine the people on that committee are so grateful for this letter, because now they don't, like, no one wanted to go to that disciplinary hearing.
No. They're like, oh, thank God. Like, nobody has to deal with it now.
Yeah, she's out.
Seriously. No, thank you. Thank you. We don't have to deal with you anymore. It's great.
I also love created thousands of jobs at networks such as MSDNC and Fake News CNN. Really, dude?
You created jobs at Fake News CNN. You created...
I don't know. I don't know. It's so funny. It's so small.
That was wild. I'm glad that was our main story
But
today.
like, you were the president of the United States, and like, this is the first official like thing.
Hashtag thank you.
Oh god. No, this is the second official thing. The first official thing he did is he opened the office of the former president.
He opened the office?
Yeah, so he was like, if you want like my official statements from now on, you will refer to the office of the former president. He like created it to sound official now that he's not president anymore.
Oh my god. I'm so over it.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot.
I just like it's so funny to me. It's just so funny to me that he did that he went through the trouble of like listing his acting credits.
Yeah, like this isn't your bio in a playbill, dude.
One day, you know what I'm going to do? One day, I'm going to book another show. Because I'm going to be on stage again, and this is going to be my bio.
Oh my god. No. No.
While I'm not familiar with your work, I'm very proud of my work on movies such as Home Alone 2.
Well done.
When I turned and went, oh yeah, it's over there.
Yeah, you should definitely be proud of that. The big accomplishment for someone like you.
Oh, man. It brought me joy reading that this morning, and I wanted to share it all with you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Just when you think, like... Oh, God. It's like, okay, oh, great. We don't have to think about it anymore. He's like... He just can't not get attention.
Mm-hmm. Potomsium says, does that mean we can get in contact with any of the former presidents through the office of the former president?
No, I don't think so.
I think that would be very funny, though. If everyone just started to send requests for information, but not about him, to that office.
Yeah, everyone but Donald Trump.
How do we get Reddit on this?
Yeah, TikTok, Reddit, let's go.
No, you know who we need?
Who?
You know who could start that?
Who?
John Oliver. Last Week Tonight. Guys, we need to get on Last Week Tonight.
Yeah, we need to speak to John Oliver.
We need to speak to John Oliver. To get him to get his viewers, because his viewers do stuff. His viewers have crashed the FCC.
Viewers.
Ooh.
We could call PewDiePie.
The problem is, I feel like PewDiePie has a lot of Trump fans as viewers.
Yeah, but he...
And like, I'm not... That's not a dig at PewDiePie in any way. I just mean that, like, PewDiePie is very... four corners.
Yeah,
you know
like he's definitely... He's not, like, super, like, political on his page, but yeah. I think he could reach a bunch of people.
Everyone spam it with Obama requests. That would be so funny.
Oh my god. I love it. I love it. Guys, let's do it.
Oh my god.
Oh wow. Or we'll call Mr. Beast.
We'll call Mr. Beast?
Yeah. He'll put out like ads everywhere.
Did you see speaking of YouTubers spending money, did you see that what's the Paul brother that isn't the one who was in the Suicide Forest?
Jake, I think.
Jake Paul, I think. Or maybe it was Logan Paul.
I don't remember which one. Honestly, they're both terrible. Shannon, thank you for gifting another sub.
Watch, we're going to end up in YouTube drama. We've said that we don't want to be in, like, the online drama, but we're going to end up in the drama just because you say stuff.
I can't help it if you're an idiot.
One of them did a $2 million Pokemon card unboxing. They unboxed $2 million worth of Pokemon cards. In one video.
Was that like 8 hours long? Like
no, I think it was like unopened packs from the original run. They had like these boxes that had never been opened.
Oh wow!
Yeah, from the original run of Pokemon.
All right. Well, at least he's not desecrating people's.
Oh, thank you for that gift sub, by the way. Y'all, should we move on to other news?
Sure.
Have we laughed at the former president enough?
Enough. I'm sure something else will happen, but for today,
all right,
I think we're good.
Here's a story that I don't like, but we're gonna get into it, and I'm gonna tell you why I don't like it. Here we go. The Justice League Snyder Cut is going to be rated R, and I think that is a mistake on the part of Zack Snyder and on the part of Warner Brothers in terms of the way in which to grow this brand. I don't think that Justice League is for adults.
The Justice League, we have talked about a lot of comic material becoming for adults only. When a lot of people grow up with comics and have loved them as a kid, and once they're for adults only, it's almost like you are taking away that chance for a kid to fall in love with this like fandom in a sense. And I understand why they've rated it R. I understand that the people who wanted the Snyder Cut are now in their probably like late 20s ish. Yeah. You know, like that's going to be like the age range. But yeah, it does deny a large portion, like it denies a large portion of people from being able to watch this and enjoy it.
Well, and here's the thing, like I think that Birds of Prey being rated R, great.
Makes sense.
Rate Joker R. The Suicide Squad, rated R. Makes sense.
But Justice League is like, should be kind of like the wholesome heart of the DCU, I think.
And
Not to say that they're not adults, but it should still be accessible for people people who are of the age where they can look up to them.
Yeah, I just think that the Flash isn't an R-rated character. The Flash is more kid-friendly. Cyborg is more kid-friendly. Superman should be all ages.
Yeah.
Batman swings Batman has like both spectrums.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think he should. And I don't know. I feel like by
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman doesn't need to be R.
No.
I don't need Batman saying the F word. Which is apparently where part of the R rating comes from.
He just swears a lot.
Yeah, I don't know.
We don't know, Popcorn. We.
I fell in love with these characters when I was a certain age.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed reading comic books at a certain age. And I came into that community in a way that it felt safe, even though comic books in the 90s were very, were dark and were violent, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, like, I don't want an R-rated Spider-Man movie. I don't want an R-rated Flash movie.
Also, Spider-Man is often in high school, so that would be weird.
Well, but that's kind of where I'm getting at. Like, I don't... If you make this Justice League movie R, and the plan is to make other Justice League movies R, then you can't pull Shazam into it. Because the Shazam movie is kid-friendly. And I can take, like, my niece and nephew to see a Shazam movie. Well, not yet.
In a few years.
But, like, I want Superman to be a character that a 12 to 15-year-old can watch the movie.
Yeah.
I want, obviously, like, 7 to 8, whatever, like, fine. But, like, if you're, like, 12, you should be able to go see the superhero movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't know. I just think that, like, I think that long-term Warner Brothers is shooting themselves in the foot with this decision.
Mm-hmm.
I think that financially, this doesn't make sense to me. It only makes sense because it's on HBO Max and it doesn't matter. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen people from Warner Brothers say that the Justice League isn't going anywhere. There's no, like, future for the properties of Justice League in this version.
Mm-hmm.
This is a one-time thing, and then we're moving on with whatever else we want to do.
Yeah.
And the Flash is going to reboot everything anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But it's tough. Yeah. Hardcore Soft Popcorn in the chat says, superheroes and their principles and ideals are role models. You don't want kids going about swearing because awesome Superman does.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, and, like, if Batman starts swearing in movies, you lose something. Also, Shin, thank you for gifting that sub to Hardcore Soft Popcorn. Thank you so much, Shin. That means a lot.
We appreciate it.
I feel like you lose something when these characters who are supposed to be role models aren't anymore, and when the stories that we look to be our, like, teaching stories, to be our educational, you know, like when they made the Power Rangers reboot, one of my biggest problems with that movie was the fact that it's PG-13, but the Pink Ranger in that is lost all of her friends because she posted she, like, sent out one of her friends' nudes to a bunch of people. And so, like, her redemption arc is supposed to be her coming back from that.
Right.
But the redemption arc... But what she did is so bad that, like, the redemption arc never gets there for me.
Yeah.
And
that's awful.
It's awful. And I was like, well, now the Pink Ranger in this Power Rangers movie isn't a role model that I want anyone to... You know what I mean? Like, you've taken this, you know, Saturday morning character who's supposed to teach kids, hey, don't be greedy. Hey, don't do this, don't do this. Mm-hmm. And you've turned her into a revenge porn abuser. Like,
yeah. And I think that was why we felt so strongly about Wonder Woman 84. Especially because in the DCU, Wonder Woman is kind of the ultimate role model for girls who love superheroes right now. I would say that that's that is fair. You know, Wonder Woman should be a role model, and doesn't mean that she shouldn't struggle and have problems. But the fact that she is okay with basically raping a man's body is, like, very weird. You know what I mean? And, like, it's Wonder Woman, and that, like, she should be someone that, like, young girls can look up to and admire. And when you put stuff like that in it, it's an automatic no-no for me. Yeah,
it's just interesting. DC doesn't seem very interested in its film division in having its heroes be heroes.
Yes.
And I don't know why. Like, even Superman in Man of Steel isn't a good person the whole movie. Like, you know, he like, that trucker pours the beer, right, in that one, in the bar scene. And then he goes out and he destroys his truck. Yeah. Like, he causes... $75,000 worth of damage, ruins this guy's livelihood because, and like the guy's, and you're look,
the guy's an ass.
The guy's an ass, but
there's better ways to handle that.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: if you have your 12, 13-year-old son, nephew, whatever it is, watching that movie, then they think that like revenge violence is okay.
Well, and because it treats it like a hero moment. It treats it
like, oh, yeah, I get it.
Look at the wonderful thing. Superman got back at the guy by destroying his job.
Yeah, when, like, that... Like, those kind of situations, for us as adults, like, we can look at them and talk them through and, like, think them through and be like, okay, I can understand it from both sides, blah, blah, blah. But I think that Superman should be the kind of person who aims to solve conflict in a way that benefits everyone.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? Like, when you were in school, if you got bullied and you went and, like, stole a kid's lunch or something like that, like, both things are bad.
Yeah.
The point is to help people learn that those kind of acts don't help anybody, that you know, like, I don't know, in my personal opinion, they should be handled more in the sense of, we're going to work this out, as opposed to, you know, we're just going to get back at each other.
Well, and you know, for a long time, Superman was the way that Superman stories were told was that he was strong. He was so much stronger than humanity that in order to justify using violence, there was no way he could justify using violence against humanity because it was so unfair. And he never used his strength against humans to, you know, he never went out of his way to pick on humans. He never, you know, and, you know, I feel like we've gotten to an age of DC storytelling where it's so edgelordy and, like, it's so, in the search of being gritty,
yeah,
I sometimes feel like we've lost these characters being good people.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm concerned about that. Like, when you look at the DCU movies that we've gotten, there's times where I genuinely don't think anyone is decent. And it's so nihilistic. Like, Batman v Superman is such a nihilistic movie where the premise of the movie is essentially that everyone is bad. And like, Batman is a bad person who believes that Superman is a bad person.
Yeah.
Clark Kent is not a bad person, but he believes so much that the Batman is a bad person. Like, everyone just believes the worst in each other.
Yeah.
And there's no hope.
Yeah.
And I just need everyone to go watch the Bruce Timm Justice League cartoons and remember, like, what these characters stand for and who they're supposed to be. That's
the thing. It seems like DC is, in a sense, trying to, like, reinvent these characters into something similar to, like, The Boys, you know? And The Boys is a great show because everyone is complicated and, like, no one is really, like, a great person. And that's what makes it interesting.
But The Boys is making fun. That is intentionally making fun of this.
Exactly.
Watchmen, here's the thing, and here's the whole problem with Zack Snyder. And I like his movies, I like his direction, but he read The Watchmen, misunderstood that it was satire, and made a movie that is a version of Watchmen that doesn't have the complexity of the comics. Rorschach is not a cool person. He's not a good person. He is a satirical look at Batman. And the movie doesn't understand that. And this is why I don't like the Watchmen movie, but I love the comic, is the movie doesn't understand that Rorschach is a bad person. He's not the hero. He's not cool. He is a mentally ill person who beats people up.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting to see that misunderstanding of the characters that Zack Snyder made with Watchmen is still happening, but now it's with the DCU characters, and there's not the cover of, well, at least the Watchmen characters were, they're bad for different reasons in the movie, but, like, they were bad in the original comic, so, and also the original comic was made for adults, so it's not confusing the audience. I feel like this version of Justice League is going to confuse the audience, and there are going to be parents who are like, no, you can't watch this.
Yeah.
Batman says the F word, Superman's killing people, like, this is not... and if you watch Shazam, like, Shazam doesn't feel like a Marvel movie. It does not feel like a Marvel movie. It feels like DC.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It feels like a DC movie.
Yep.
It feels like the comics. It tells a story with cool action, great superhero powers, a great moral. Like, Shazam is what Man of Steel should feel like, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, we have not, since, the Donner films, had a Superman movie that really felt right, because everyone's trying to make Superman so sad all the time.
Yeah.
The Superman Returns even. Like, Brandon Routh was great as Superman, but that movie is just, it's I don't know. I don't like seeing this be rated R. I want these characters to exist for the wide audience that they are intended to be, that they're marketed towards. Mm-hmm. You make these movies and you market them towards kids, but you make them rated R, and then, I don't know.
Like, even with Shazam, we loved it. We really loved it. But there are moments in it that feel out of place, that are particularly violent, that I honestly wish were not there.
Oh, you mean the boardroom scene?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
Here's the thing. That scene in another movie would have been great. Honestly, it was filmed and done brilliantly, but I don't think it belongs in Shazam, because suddenly I'm like, ooh, she's 9. I don't think I should, she should be seeing, and it sucks because the rest of the movie has a great message. It's full of love and hope, and it would be something that I would want to show a young kid who would be into superheroes. But then you put in a scene like that, and then I have to rethink my decision. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, that might be too scary for some people.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely ups who your minimum age is, but I think a 12-year-old can see that scene. Yeah,
it depends on the 12-year-old.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
But for me, like Shazam, these characters, I don't think you should skew your superheroes younger than 10. I think, 10 is kind of the baseline.
Yeah, that's kind of what, maybe, the Young Justice cartoon would be or something.
Even that. No, that's older. Young Justice is definitely older.
Okay.
Young Justice is a little complicated.
Fair.
In a great way. Young Justice is really, that 14 to 18 range.
No, okay, that's fair.
Young Justice is, if you have not seen the first, 2... All of it's good, but the first 2 seasons of Young Justice are really perfect. Mm-hmm. And
I think I've seen season 1.
Yeah. And also, great representation in that. Calderon as Aquaman being... he becomes Aquaman and is a gay Aquaman who is the leader of the Justice League. I really, really love that representation in that show. Mm-hmm. And Calderon is, one of the coolest characters in that show.
Yeah.
Young Justice is great. Really, 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 really good television. If you have HBO Max, it's all on there, so you should go check that out.
Yeah.
One moment in DC that points to the big problem for me is when Lex Luthor and Superman are on top of the helipad in Batman v Superman, and Lex Luthor pulls out the Polaroids of Ma Kent.
Right. Yeah.
And the images in those Polaroids go too far.
Yeah.
They're unnecessary. They're gratuitous. They're gross, and they don't make the movie better. They just feel bad.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he's kidnapped Martha. He's kidnapped Ma Kent, right? Martha Kent. You don't need to go the extra step of and look at these Polaroids where we drew on her face with a marker it's a porn scene.
Yeah.
And it's it's when they go gratuitous that it becomes too much.
Yeah.
And I'm worried that we're gonna see more of that in the Snyder Cut of Justice League.
Yeah.
And now that it's rated R, I was hoping, I want this to be good. I love these characters so much. I want it to be good. But this makes me nervous.
I don't have high hopes. I do not have high hopes. I just, I think we want to make it clear that, obviously we don't think that all media should be accessible to everybody. That's definitely not.
No, I love that the Joker's rated R.
Yeah.
I love that Birds of Prey's rated R.
Yeah. Yeah. It has a time and a place, and
I love that Deadpool's rated R.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if there was a Deadpool Spider-Man crossover that would be rated R, that would be a specific thing.
Here's the thing though, and because they've done this in the comics a lot.
Yeah.
And when Deadpool and Spider-Man cross over in the comics, Deadpool gets censored for comedy. And they blur it out. Yeah. And there's a way to make those characters interact.
Yeah.
And look, there's a lot of Deadpool comics that are rated PG-13 because in comics you can draw gore and stuff in a way that's comic.
For sure. Mm-hmm.
And Deadpool is a character that kind of crosses that line. Mm-hmm. But Marvel and Sony and Fox, when they go R, Logan was rated R, but that movie was carefully marketed to be for adults.
Yes.
Logan never had any marketing that was look at the cool Wolverine movie.
No.
They were this is going to make you sad.
Yeah. Yes, 100%.
Deadpool can interact with Spider-Man in a Spider-Man movie or in an Avengers movie. I don't want Spider-Man to appear in a Deadpool movie because those are different things.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
And
and here's the thing, I truly think that like those kind of limitations bring out the creativity in artists, and I want to see more of that. You know, I think that would be great. You know, how can you get around it by still keeping? It's like when in Pixar movies when they throw in an adult joke that a kid would never like, just goes right over their head, but all the adults are like,
or all of Shrek. Like literally every joke in Shrek is inappropriate, and yet as a child I never noticed. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I noticed some of literally everything that happens in Shrek is inappropriate, and it is all fantastic. Yeah. We are huge Shrek fans in this house. Yeah. I cannot. We wore out our Shrek DVD by watching it so many times. You had to buy a new one. Yeah. Oh man. That was a longer discussion than I thought it was going to be. Sorry guys. I feel like we were pretty passionate about that one. We've got some quick clips, news, moments to get through the end of the show here. Even Toy Story has some adult jokes. What are you trying to pull? Nothing. It's a good moment. All Shrek, Misguided Gamers Live. We are fans of all Shrek here. Yes, love Shrek. Yeah, Potomsium, our Shrek DVD stopped working because we had a DVD player in our van. And so Shrek was always just playing in the car. And we had to buy a new DVD. All right, y'all. In other news, Fantastic Beasts 3, a movie that we probably will never watch. Because J.K. Rowling is a transphobic person. Yeah. And we do not want to support her financially. But we did want to bring this up just because it is the production of that movie is being forced to halt in the UK following a positive COVID test. And we just wanted to wish whoever is sick the best and hope that this doesn't spread. And I just want to say I'm grateful for companies having robust testing on these sets to catch this, and hopefully it will not spread to more of the cast and crew of that film. Yeah. They did put out a statement saying the diagnosis was confirmed as a result of required and ongoing testing that all production employees receive, and the team is currently in isolation. Out of an abundance of caution, they'll pause production. The interesting thing about this is apparently when they're going to start filming The Flash is butted up really close to the end of Fantastic Beasts 3. Oh. And so depending on how long this production delay is, it could actually affect the start date for The Flash filming. Because Ezra Miller is in both films. Right. For some reason. Why he's still working, who knows? Yeah, I have a feeling that they resolved the whole choking incident, just didn't resolve it publicly. I guess. I'm still salty about it. I rewatched the video like 2 or 3 weeks ago because I was talking to some friends about it and sent it to them, and I was like, Jesus Christ, like... We do a news show, y'all. Okay, so here's what's weird about this, right? We do a news show, and we have openly said that we're not going to support J.K. Rowling financially. And, like, maybe even talking about it is still a step too far. I'm not of that opinion. Right. I think that, you know, people come here to see nerdy news, and that we shouldn't exclude things like that, but we're not going to show any content we won't do any trailer reactions for Harry Potter stuff like that. We've made it very clear that we don't. What is interesting is it is impossible to talk about Fantastic Beasts 3 without being like, so before we begin talking about Fantastic Beasts 3, we're going to mention the 5 controversies behind this movie. Like, this movie is 6 feet under and it's not even out yet. I know. Yeah. I don't know how it's going to do, but it's going to be interesting. I have a feeling it's going to be dependent on the press junkets. I feel like the cast and crew is going to have to work really hard to make people feel comfortable to go see this movie. And to make people feel like they want to. A lot of the Harry Potter fandom was really burned by that final moment. I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it and you care about this stuff, but... Yeah, the end of the last movie... The end of the last movie was baffling. Bad writing. I remember sitting in the theater with, like, I went with a group of people, and I was in a packed theater opening night, and I remember sitting there, and no one moved. We all just kind of sat there being like, wait, what? And we had, like, binged Harry Potter all week. Like, we were, like, ready for this movie. Yeah. And, like, we were like, what? That doesn't make any... Wait. Yeah, my friend and I went and saw it the preview night, Thursday night. Mm-hmm. And that happened, and I literally, like, stood up, and I was like, I feel like I need to leave. And Sarah was like, no, sit down. And I was like, what is happening? Like, I was like, I literally was like, I
I need to go. Like, this is, oh God.
All right, a couple last quick things, just so that you're up to speed. Mass Effect, the Legendary Edition, is going to change some of the shots in some of the cutscenes so that you're not staring at Miranda's butt as much.
Cool.
There were some rather gratuitous sexualized moments with Miranda. Miranda became a thing for a lot of young boys, mostly because she was modeled after Yvonne Strahovski, the star of Chuck, and many other things. But at the time it was Chuck, and I was in love with her because I desperately wanted to be Chuck because I was a little nerd who wanted to have a supercomputer put into my brain and then have a really hot spy girlfriend. And so Yvonne Strahovski was like, for nerds of a certain age, she was like the most desirable woman in the world. And then they made a video game in which she was in skin tight white leather. So that informed a lot of my childhood. I hope she never sees this. I'm so sorry, Mrs. Strahovski. I admire and respect your work greatly. But they are changing some of the shots so that the camera is not quite so focused on her. Yeah. Which I think is a change that you won't notice. Yeah. I don't think you will notice it at all. Yeah. It's not even like modeled after her. Like it's literally, she did the motion capture for it. Like it is her. Oh yeah. If you look at Miranda, it's literally her face. Yeah. They hired her. She is the. Dope. Okay. They knew what they were doing. In other DC news, DC Comics is not renaming Black Adam as Shazadam. If you saw that on the news, they're not doing it. Shazadam is dumb, and they wouldn't. Yeah. And if they do that, it's doo-doo. Yeah, bad choice. And the last thing, California lawmakers propose legislation to reopen theme parks more quickly. This is because...
Isn't Disneyland a testing center right now?
What?
Isn't Disney a testing center for COVID?
Vaccination distribution center.
Right.
The big thing here was that there has not been... Disney World has been open since July, and there has not been a single case in what is that, 8 months, 9 months? There has not been a single recorded case of COVID transmission in Disney Park, in any theme park in the world. It is not a place where the disease spreads. You're outside. Like the theme parks are essentially saying there's nothing dangerous about being at a theme park. You're outside. As long as the lines are distant 6 feet apart and people wear masks when they're inside, theme parks are not a dangerous place to be. And Disney's argument is basically, we've proven, we have months and months and months and months of data proven that this is safe. Why can't we be open? There are thousands of people that could go back to work.
I guess, but here's the thing. Like, I wouldn't put it past Disney to, like...
Well, Disney can't hide case transmission because the government agencies would find out after they've left the park. Like, Disney wouldn't be involved in that at all.
I guess, but if someone gets COVID, are they tracing every single person's
Yeah, that's what the contract tracers worldwide have yet to find a single case of transmission in a theme park. Okay. It's outside. I get this. Like, I think that there's no reason for theme parks. There's a lot of things I don't think should be closed, but
my only thought is that there are places in lineups sometimes where you go inside and it's small and confined.
I think that Disney has policies so that they have people, so they're ushering people through those in a way. I think that what Disney is saying is in Disney Tokyo, in Disney Florida, we have created policies that have kept people safe. We can bring those to California. Why are we just closing down instead of using policies that are keeping people safe?
All right. You know what? That's fair.
I kind of stand with Disney on this one. Yeah. You know what? It's been a year.
Yeah, if they've proven it, then, who am I? I'm not a scientist.
Yeah. If they were even saying, transmission is lower than other places, I'd be like, okay, don't close. But they're saying it's never happened. We've never seen transmission. And it's Florida. You think that people at the Florida Disney parks are following all the rules? It's Florida. They're not following any of the rules. If they are not having transmission, Californians aren't.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, man. Anyway. Misguided Gamers Live says, I'm still not going to risk it. I mean, we're not going to go.
No.
But that's because we're broke.
Yeah, that's it.
Y'all, thank you for a great show today. A Friday edition of the morning show.
Yeah.
All finished up.
We had some good chats.
We are going to be exiting out of here pretty quick because we want to go watch WandaVision and record our spoiler talk. Mm-hmm. So please come back to the YouTube later on today and give that a watch after you've seen the episode. I have to look up the news for this, and I've kind of seen that today's episode has a pretty big moment. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is. I just know there's a really big moment. Mm-hmm. So don't watch our spoiler chat until after you watch WandaVision episode 5.
Yeah.
Marvelous Bricks, thank you for liking the show.
Thank you.
It means a lot to us.
Yes.
You're going to be streaming tomorrow, right?
I am. It's Skyrim Saturday tomorrow. Ooh, so please come and hang out with me.
The Rim of the Sky?
The Rim of the Sky. That's the one. We are almost at level 100 destruction and 100 enchanting, so we're gonna get those. We're gonna get some dope armor, and we're gonna go take on Alduin. It's gonna be great. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Would you say that you're gonna do some Skyrim jobs tomorrow? You can find me. I'm gonna be streaming Sunday morning over at Twitch on this channel, twitch.tv/nerdynightly, playing some Red Dead Redemption 2. So come back for that. That'll probably be at 11 a.m. Eastern on Sunday. Sorry I had to change my schedule. But we are going to watch the Super Bowl, and we're going to do trailer reactions for all of the trailers that come out during the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. So Sunday's going to be a busy one for us. We're going to be working.
Yes.
We're going to be working.
Yeah.
As always, y'all, my name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
Do something nerdy tonight.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.